My name is John Batchelor. I currently work as the National Programme Director at the NHS Institute for Innovation and Improvement.
My name is Claudette McNaughton and I work in EOC.
My name is Jagtar Benning and I currently work for the Community Resuscitation Training Team.
Well, I've worked for the NHS for over, I would say, about 22, 23 years, but I've been doing other things since then around the Department of Health and for the NHS itself. What led me to embark on a career in the ambulance service was basically the uniform. I was previously waiting for a course to begin to teach physical education, but I sort of got myself involved with a part-time job with social services, driving the elderly backwards and forwards to day hospitals and day centres. When I saw the ambulance staff in their nice uniform, blue lights, I said, well, I could be doing something like this. And that's what initially attracted me to joining the London Ambulance Service.
I joined the London Ambulance Service in the mid-90s, so I've been here for approximately 12 years. And the reason I joined the London Ambulance Service is because I was in between jobs and I filled in a questionnaire. And the questionnaire said that I could become anything from a refuse cleaner to an astronaut. And as I went through the list, I thought, well, that's interesting. And initially I applied for Kent, but they weren't taking any recruits. So I applied for the London Ambulance Service.
Well, I've been working with the LAs for 16 years, like I said. Before that, I worked for the RSPCA, and I saw an advert for the ambulance, and I thought it would have been good. Actually, I didn't expect to get the job because I don't think really minorities really work for the service. So I just went for the job anyway, but I didn't expect to get it, like I said.
When I joined the service, in fact, trying to join the service was an issue, because I remember coming for interview and to actually conduct and take all the assessments, and at the end of the day they told me that I failed my driving, when my counterparts, who were women that were sitting the assessments and doing their driving test, in fact they couldn't drive, but they were told that they could do a driving course, and if they were successful they could embark on the training to become an ambulance man or an ambulance woman. Now, I couldn't understand it, but I look back at this and know that it was the part of the discrimination that existed back there. And I came for second interviews and to do my driving test again, simply to make a statement that I could pass, I could become an ambulance man. So I think that was the main issue that really helped me to focus on the fact that if you want something bad enough, you can get it if you really want it.
When my family and friends found out that I actually joined the London Ambulance Service, so especially my family, they weren't quite sure whether it was the correct route for me to take or the correct profession, because unfortunately I have a problem with blood. I'm not very good with it and have been known to go unconscious several times. So when they discovered that this was a profession I was going for, they did sort of look at me and think, am I doing the right thing?
My family and friends thought of my career choice as a good one, simply because I was going to be working in the public sector. It was the sort of career that nobody had thought of embarking on, and for the first few years I got a lot of plaudits by, my mum used to say, for example, that I was a doctor who drove ambulances, and my sister thought I was a nurse driving ambulances, and my brothers thought I was a Formula One driver, because that's the nature of the job, being an ambulance man in the ambulance service. You have so many different roles that you do for the job.
My mum, first of all, when I told her, she was very pleased. My dad had his own opinion, sort of thing. He was saying, oh, that is not a job. Well, I don't want to be making you saying what he said, but I mean, he didn't think it was a job for a black person, sort of thing, because of the way I think he was brought up, and things that he sort of, I think, experienced when he came to this country, sort of thing. But my mother was very pleased, and my sisters and my brothers then were quite pleased, actually.
My memories of the initial setting up of the support network that we called LABEL, London Ambulance Black and Ethnic Liaison, was to do just that, to support our colleagues that were undergoing difficulties or issues to do with their race, religion, or sexuality. And there was nothing in existence in the LAS. We had welfare, of course, but we didn't have a support network that members could go to and feel that their issues would be listened to by members that were like-minded. So that's the reason that we set up LABEL as a support network for staff, but we turned it into a vehicle that actually started to dictate policy and strategies within the trust.
The reason that I joined LABEL is having been aware of it, and I'm aware of the importance that it had on people from the black and minority ethnics. Having been approached by somebody, I felt that as a fresh face, I might be able to give a different view of the existing members of the organisation.
LABEL was founded by John, as you know, and I think when John founded the group, it was like myself and Basil and a few others from the beginning and whatever. And what do I know about LABEL? I know that we've tried so hard to even get started, and there's been so much problems, because each time you approach somebody and you say to them like, LABEL, we've got LABEL meeting or whatever, or even try to get time off to go to these meetings, they told, oh, well, we don't recognise LABEL, you know, and you can't get time off. We're short of staff and whatever. And I think LABEL is very beneficial, and I think for the minorities, a few minorities that's here.
I think that the current issues facing black and minority ethnic staff in the NHS are several. First of all, for those at a very senior level, we found that because of the reorganisation of the NHS, many are facing the issue, do I stay or do I go? Many are facing sort of redundancies through the change, and some are taking it. So for me personally, the issues are that 7.5% of senior leaders that we have are diminishing. The other issue for those in sort of junior roles and middle managers is the opportunities that they might face in getting on, and especially when there's so many now competing for less and less and less senior roles in the NHS, again because of the reconstruction and reconfiguration of the NHS. So what opportunities are there for training and development? What opportunities are there for secondment? What opportunities are there for promotion? These are some of the key issues that many staff are facing around the NHS at a senior level and also at a junior level.
I think some of the problems that face the the blacks and minority ethnics within the LAS is some of them feel that they're underrepresented. I have myself, since joining the service, have not been in contact with many people from the Asian culture, and again, from where I work out of mainly Barnhurst, I'm the only Asian that I've known. So what it's given us the opportunity is to break down a lot of myths and barriers.
I feel personally that I've been in a position to help others to achieve their career potential as well. And one of the greatest factors of being in a national role is that you can influence strategy at a very senior level. And one of my biggest achievements is to see individuals, and this goes into the hundreds and hundreds of individuals from black and minority ethnic backgrounds, progress in their careers around the NHS. And when I look back, I can think that's been my greatest achievement.
What I'd like to progress to within the LAS is into management skills. I think my strengths are in helping people with their problems and trying to resolve issues. So what I'm looking for is going more into resolving issues and public relations.
Well, I'm hoping that I could want to progress to being a manager, really. What, a senior operations manager, that's what, I laugh, but that's what ideally I would like to be.
What's helped me during my time with the London Ambulance Service is that the fact that you need to be able to be adaptable, be able to speak to people, and also be able to see everybody's point of view, and basically listen to people, give your point of view, and I think you can go a long way.
I went to a conference a few years ago. My friend came, I think she did, and it was a nursing conference. It was at the Royal College of Nursing somewhere we went. I can't remember exactly where the place is. And there was a Dr. Beverly, I can't remember what, Malone or something, who was there, and she was talking about the problems. She's an American lady who's talking about the problems that she overcame when she tried to get her position. And she was saying that there was other senior members there who were like, say, minority as her. And she said something that stuck with me all the time. She was saying she realised that when they got to the top sort of thing, you know, they sort of kicked the ladder from under them so that nobody else, like in their minority, could climb the ladder to get to the stage where they had got to, sort of thing. So she was saying that she tried and she overcame all these obstacles to get to where she was. And she said to us, you know, don't ever let anybody say to you that there's nothing that you can do. You know, just go for whatever. She said, set your goal, go for it. She said, and when you get to the top of that ladder, she said, never kick it from underneath you. She said, leave it for somebody else to climb up, she said. And that stuck to me all the time. I always remember that. Don't forget that, because I said that to my friends. I say, if I ever get to the top, they'll always be right behind me.
Be of support to your colleagues that you work with, and never be selfish. And whatever you've achieved or attained, always remember that somebody can do with the same sort of help that you had to get to where you've got in your careers. And always be ready to give, and not just be a person that takes and takes and takes without being giving and being generous in how you give as well. Throughout my 28 years in the NHS, working for London Ambulance Service and around the Department of Health, I think my proudest moment will be on Friday. I'm going to go to Buckingham Palace on Friday with my family to be awarded the MBE by the Queen, Her Majesty. And I think that'll be my proudest moment, because the award is for services to black and minority ethnic staff in the NHS. And that's all the work that I've been doing in the London Ambulance Service and also at the Department of Health.
I think every day is my proudest moment, really. I don't have a particular moment, not one that I can think of right now. But I think every day is a proud day for me. I'm proud to be working for the LAS. I'm proud to wear their uniform, and I just do the best that I can.
I'm able to train people from the Southeast Asian community in basic life support techniques, because unfortunately, due to many factors such as genetics, our dietary customs and so forth, we are at a higher risk of cardiac arrest. And therefore, I have the opportunity to help people help themselves.
I think if I help one person for the day and that was successful, then I think that makes the job worthwhile for me. It's just knowing that I'm going to help somebody, and that I just care what happens to other people, really, because it's not just them, it could be my family too.
I'm not planning to do anything as regards my retirement as yet, simply because it's taken me a good 2 to 3 years to get to the stage of retiring. So I'm not planning about 2 or 3 years in advance. But once I've settled and the family are okay, I'd like to get involved in ambulance services again, funny enough. I've gone away from it in my job role, but in my local area, there's no ambulance station. There's a fire station, but not an ambulance station. And in Jamaica, we've got a healthcare system that needs help. I feel I can be of some assistance there.
Eventually, when I retire, I've got a few years left yet. Hopefully, what I would like to do is play plenty more golf, enjoy time with my family. Maybe my children will have grandchildren by then, and travel the world. Always wanted to travel the world and see some of the carnivals and see some of the sporting events throughout the whole world.
Well, when I retire, ideally, I said before that I want to do another 4 years in the service to make it to 20 years. And then Well, I don't know what I want to do after, but I think when I retire eventually, I'd like to retire when I'm about 55. And then when I retire, I just want to just travel around the world.